Hey, welcome back to Real Food Blog. I'm excited about this episode because I get to show you how to make our biscuits and gravy. Homemade biscuits, homemade gravy. It's pretty easy. It takes a couple ingredients, and probably the hardest part is doing the biscuits. But other than that, everything else is easy. Okay, but the biscuits are pretty easy just because once you get them down, like anything else, they get easier and easier. Okay, so basically, I'll show you what we're working with here. We've got some milk, got some baking powder, some cream of tartar, some salt, and some butter. Okay, that's what we're going to be, and some flour is what we're going to be using for the biscuits. And then for the gravy, we've got bacon that we've rendered off in the oven at 350. We've just baked it off. It comes out perfectly when you do it that way. Okay, because you don't have to flip it or anything like that when you do it in the oven. And then we've got a big pan here that we're going to start making the gravy into, okay? But first we're going to get the biscuits ready because we're going to get the biscuits chill in the refrigerator while we're getting everything else ready. Okay, so basically, get started on the biscuit recipe, okay? So, it takes 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Now, working with all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Okay, so we're gonna get that. All right. 2 teaspoons of sugar. So we got that. Okay. A half a teaspoon of this cream of tartar. All right. And 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And now we're ready to do the next part. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the butter, okay, and we're going to have, using cold butter, we're going to cut this in, okay, to the dough, okay, to the flour mixture to make it a dough, okay. So basically, I'm just cutting it up, okay, and then I'm going to add it, okay, to flour, and basically we're going to rub the butter between our hands, making sure to try to use our fingertips. We want to keep the butter from getting too warm, okay? So basically, you just incorporate it with your hands, and then once it gets to the stage where it looks like coarse crumbs here, I can start to see it now. See this? See how it's? I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Okay. So now we're going to make a well in the center. Pour our milk in. Okay. Which was 2/3 of a cup. I don't know if I have all my measuring devices. Avery takes them. So, 2/3 of the cup. Alright. Put it in there all at once. And then we're just going to bring this together. Okay. And then roll it out on a lightly floured surface. So basically, this is going to come together. Once it's together, like that, right? You want to underwork this. Don't overwork this, okay? It's not like pizza dough or pasta dough. It's the opposite, where you underwork it, okay? And then we're going to put it onto a lightly floured surface. Okay. Now, I don't know if I told you, we're reserving the bacon fat for the fat we're going to use to make the gravy, okay? And that's why, another reason I did it on the rack was that it drains off, all the fat drains off, and then you just can pour that fat off, okay, into the, this need 2 tablespoons of it, so you don't need very much of it. Actually, 2 to 3 tablespoons of the fat. Okay, so now we're just going to just lightly do that. Okay. Now, at this point, we've got it into a disc, basically, right? Now we're going to chill this for about anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, okay? Just to get the butter cold again, and then we can roll it out, and we can cut it into biscuits, okay? And then we're going to bake the biscuits off in the oven at about 400 degrees, okay? And then we're going to use them for the gravy, and so we'll pick up where we left off here. Okay, so now that we've got the gravy stirred through, we've added all the milk that we're going to add. We're going to salt it, okay, and pepper. And I'm probably going to use a lot of pepper, just because the gravy can stand up to it, okay? It's thick gravy. It can handle all this pepper. Okay. And then you want to taste it to make sure it's got everything in it that it needs. Some people have to add Tabasco. You can do that as well at this point. So now the key is to taste it, to make sure that it tastes good, right? Good gravy. A little more salt. And I like to add something unusual, which if I can find it, I like to add a little bit of tarragon. Tiny, tiny bit. No one will even know that it's there. Okay. So now I want you to check out the gravy here after I taste it here. Make sure it's good. Wow. And then I'm going to take it, one of these pieces of bacon, because this bacon is like gold. And I'm just going to break it up. So I'm going to be careful with the salt because you're going to add some bacon. Okay. Turn off the heat. I don't want to reduce anymore. I'm going to show you how thick it is. And then I may have to add a little more liquid to this, or milk, or whatever, before I serve it as I reheat it, okay? But that's pretty much it. This is our bacon gravy recipe. Okay. Yeah. Check that out. Check out that gravy. So now we're going to roll out the biscuits and then bake them and then put our biscuit and gravy together. Okay, so now we're at the point where we're taking the dough out of the refrigerator or the freezer, and we are going to put it down, okay, and then we're going to roll it out to approximately I want to say 1/4 inch. Okay, just like that. Biscuit cutter, or whatever this is. Okay, just like that. Put your biscuit down on your baking sheet.